It's with great honor and pleasure that I get to announce the launch of the Onyx Fund for Women today. It's very rarely in my life that I have met a more courageous woman as Onyx, who's here today. And this has been a wonderful team effort of the compassionate people here at Natividad that care so much about the people who live in Monterey County. I want to thank our financial counseling. That whole department worked very hard to help get the fund established. I want to thank our fabulous, compassionate staff of OBGYNs. I want to thank our donors as far away as Maine that have given to this fund. And of course, the Community Foundation. Our board of directors who are helping us raise money for this, and our surgery schedulers who are busy scheduling the surgery so women can get the best health care they can possibly have. I had the pleasure of meeting Onyx about a year ago today. In fact, it might be just a year ago today. 4 years ago, she delivered a child here by cesarean section, and her physician at the time found that she had fibroid tumors and told Onyx, you have to come in and get surgery or this could be a really difficult problem. This doctor shared with me that he has a list that he calls his worry list. And when I met with him and the OBGYN staff, he pulled out the list from his wallet and said, this is my worry list. And he said Onyx's name was on this list for 4 years. And I keep their names and their phone numbers, and I check in when I can with them to see how they're coming and if they've raised enough money for their elective surgeries. And he said often, Onyx is one of the patients we call our disappearing patients, our disappearing women. Because once they find out how much money their down payment is, which is required, they are unable to come up with it, and they live for years, having often to make a choice between do I feed my family or do I get the health care that's necessary? And often, thank goodness, they feed their families. So Onyx came back after 4 years. It was January of last year, and she saw her doctor. And when she walked in, she looked as if she was 8 or 9 months pregnant because the tumors had grown for so long over these 4 years. And what really is disturbing is the suffering that Onyx went through. And when she came back, it took her 6 more months to still go and borrow on her meager income as a housekeeper in Carmel to raise enough money or borrow enough money to come have the surgery. So 4 months, 6 months later, she came back and had the surgery. And that was the day I happened to meet by accident with all the OBGYNs, and they told me about Onyx. And I had the pleasure to go up to Onyx's room and meet with her. And she is so grateful for what has happened to her and her doctor here, because she was so scared and living with this fear for years that she was not going to make it and nobody would be able to care for her daughter. And her story touched me, it touched others in the hospital, and we as a team formed the Onyx Fund for Women. We have had 5 women have been eligible and have been accepted for surgery, and the foundation has agreed that after they've been vetted, that they are absolutely appropriate to receive our funds. So 4 out of the 5 women in the last 6 weeks have had surgery, and they have been very much in need of surgery. And we have 1 woman coming up in August. And then we have this incredible community foundation here at Monterey County, an incredible lead who's just brand new here, Dan Baldwin. And our grant writer, Jennifer Williams, asked them if they could please give us $30,000 to get this fund started. And I got a phone call from Jackie Wendland, who has a heart as big as I don't know what. She said, you know what, Linda, we can't give you $30,000. And I said, well, that's okay. You know, whatever you can give us will be a good start. And she said, we're so touched by Onyx and her courage that we're giving you $50,000. And I said, oh my goodness gracious. And I designed a necklace. I'm a former jewelry designer. And it hit me in the middle of the night. Oh my goodness, her name's Onyx. What a coincidence. So I will design a necklace, and we will be selling this necklace. It's in the shape of a O for Onyx, and I designed this in honor of her and her family, who was also so courageous. And we are selling these necklaces for $125, 100 which goes to the fund, and that has been matched by the Community Foundation, which has allowed us to do the surgeries. And now I'd like to introduce Dan Baldwin, who I just met for the first time today, and I want to welcome him to Monterey County. He's brand new. And Dan, if you could come and say a few words.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Harry, and most importantly, thank you, Onyx, for the example that you're setting. I think one of the compelling lessons today is that there is need all around us that maybe isn't so obvious, that isn't apparent, whether it's a coworker, it's a friend, it's somebody that we're standing next to in the grocery store, and there is something very compelling in their lives that we don't have the ability to recognize. This fund, actually, I think the beauty of this fund is that it has uncovered a very compelling and critical need in our community that otherwise we might not have known about, and it shines a light on this need, and it actually helps to provide a solution. The second thing I'd like to point out is that I'm particularly proud to be standing here sort of speaking on behalf of philanthropy. There are a lot of government structures, there are a lot of corporate structures that do really, really wonderful work, but philanthropy has an ability to be particularly nimble and to rally itself around a need and then be able to very quickly provide a solution. So the actual funds that are coming from the Community Foundation, a large part of the fund comes from a man who passed away last year who just cared tremendously for basic human need and left frankly a considerable amount of money with the Community Foundation. And the other is from our general grant making pool, where these are funds that have come from a variety of people. So it's very, very appropriate that the resources that are making this possible come from a very wide variety of people who just really want to support Monterey County and make life better for its citizens. And I love to speak on behalf of philanthropy and the role that it can take. We're thrilled at the Community Foundation to be able to play some small part. And thank you, Onyx, for your tremendous example and the courage that you're displaying here today. Thank you on behalf of the Community Foundation.
Thank you, Dan. And now for the star of the show, I'd like to bring up Onyx and her sister Ysenio, who will be interpreting, and also Maria Giannini, who's a member of our board of directors, also from El Salvador, and she'll be here too. So please come forth, and we'd love to hear from you.
Gracias por estar acá en la reunión. No, yo me siento bien feliz porque pues, parece que me volví a nacer. Ustedes ya saben mi historia. Me operaron y le doy gracias a Dios y a todos ustedes.
My sister is very thankful with everybody because for all what she went through, and it was hard for us to know that she had all these on her, and we suffered a lot, but she went through all this. But thanks to everybody that helped her to get the surgery done, and she's very proud of everybody who helped her, and she thanks everybody. No. I'm going to say it in Spanish, and she's going to translate because I'm very nervous right now. Pues nosotros estamos bien contentas porque todos vinieron aquí a apoyar a la fundación, y primeramente Dios de que así como mi hermana tuvo la ayuda para que ella pudiera tener su cirugía, pues muchas mujeres que lo necesitan puedan tenerlo y pues seguir con sus vidas y tener una nueva oportunidad para seguir adelante. Es todo. Muchas gracias.
They say they're very grateful that you all are here today, and they also want to, obviously thank the hospital and the foundation for allowing her to have this operation, and that hopefully her what she went through will give, hope and courage to more women to go through the same experience that she went through. And they give, obviously, lots of thanks to everyone who was involved. And thank you again for coming. Yeah.
And now, my hero, Dr. Peter Chandler, who's here representing his entire team today that helped this fund get started. Dr. Chandler?
Thank you. Well, the word for the day today is gratitude. As a physician who sees the women of the community who have lost their health insurance and have real need and have real suffering, it's absolutely wonderful to be able to take care of that need. It's very painful for us as physicians to see women that suffer in non-emergent conditions. To be able to help them is a blessing, and it's a great honor. So I just wanted to say thank you to the Natividad Medical Foundation and the Monterey County Foundation as well. Thank you for what you're doing to help these very precious people in our community. The role of the woman in the household is obviously tremendous, and the role that they play in our community is second to none. So thank you very much.
So 5 surgeries have been done, and we know that there's over 100 women just in the last 12 to 15 months who have been diagnosed with protruding uteruses and bleeding incontinence and severe gynecological problems that cannot get that elective surgery. And thanks to all of you and our donors and the finance department and the whole compassionate team here, we've arranged a way where hopefully they can get their surgery quickly, and that was our goal, and so they can get back to work right away so that they're healthy and can contribute to their families and their community. And again, thank you all so very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.